This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911, it was too close for comfort.
We didn't think the whale had much chance at all.
An Australian community joins forces by land, air, and sea to save a beached whale.
We realised we were only going to get one chance.
Watch as over 7,000 people pull together for the rescue. Then,
I got a baby that's choking. She's choking on the sucker.
a 911 operator is a panicked mother's only hope for her dying child. On Rescue 911.
We begin along the north coast of Queensland, Australia, as tourists and local townsfolk were enjoying one of the area's magnificent beaches. Most of the footage in this story was taped as events unfolded, beginning on the afternoon of August 16th, 1991. That afternoon, lifeguard supervisor Scott Braby was patrolling Perigian Beach.
I saw this whale cruising along 50 feet offshore, no more. A couple of small waves broke seaward of him and he just scraped his belly on the bottom and got washed into shore. Some people, bystanders, were going there trying to rock the whale, rock him off the sandbar. It didn't work at all.
Can you come out here? We've got some sheets we can put over the whale, and we need people with buckets. People that aren't pushing the whale, we need buckets to keep him wet. He'll dehydrate or and get sunburn from the heat.
We didn't think the whale had much chance at all.
If I can suggest, folks, if everybody can get up around the head, hold the head into the water, be careful down the tail, because if it moves its tail, it'll break you in half.
My initial thoughts were this animal has very little chance.
Chris Warner, the curator at Underwater World, was the first expert on the scene.
We have a hot day, we have a tide that's going out, it's getting hot, it's getting burnt. He was in fairly serious danger of boiling in his own blubber unless something was done.
Chris called in the Marine Rescue Team from SeaWorld, led by Rescue Coordinator Trevor Long. By the time they arrived, a large crowd had gathered around the whale.
I was concerned for these people because I don't think they realised the potential danger that they had themselves in. The weight of the animal was 30 tonne. If the animal was to move its tail in a violent action, you've got 4 tonne of body mass that could break you or even kill you.
Together, the experts assessed the whale's condition.
These animals come up for usually only one reason, and they usually come up to die.
But they determined that this whale was healthy and might survive if they could get it back into open water.
We've done quite a lot of work with the humpbacks as far as research, but getting one off the beach is another kettle of fish. We decided that we'd have to tow the animal off the beach to free it from the beach, and the only way we were going to tow it was with a large vessel.
Trevor put in a call then to SeaWorld to ask for our 60-foot rescue and research vessel to start making its way up to Perigian Beach.
The animal was tending to be pushed side on to the waves. If this happened, a large wave could have rolled the animal and submerged the blowhole, and of course it would have drowned if that was the case.
SeaWorld trainer Kerry Haynes-Lovell took over organizing volunteers who worked through the night to keep the whale facing into the waves.
We limited the shifts to 30 minutes. People get very emotionally involved when they're trying to rescue animals, and particularly this one because it was so rare an occurrence, and they forget how cold they're getting, even with wetsuits.
As volunteers fought to keep the whale alive, Trevor and Chris tried to design a sling that could pull the more than 30-ton mammal back out to sea.
The sling had to be self-releasing because if the animal had a mind to go where it wanted to go, it could have quite easily have sunk the SeaWorld boat that was towing it.
You're lucky to have these straps here, Chris.
I had never had any experience regarding the movement of an animal of this size off the beach. I'd had a bit of experience in moving large sharks, and I also have a background as an engineer, so I know a little bit about forces and lifting things and how to move things.
If we've got to get someone to get it off, we can.
You can cut it off a hurry or something, yeah. That's a good idea, mate. Yes.
The next morning, Trevor and Chris brought the sling to the beach.
It was quite a depressing sight. And the animal was completely surrounded by sand. There was no water there.
The situation had become more desperate.
The whale was certainly in worse shape than it was when we'd first arrived there the day before. Its breathing had become extremely laboured and almost seemed like it had given up the will to live.
When we continue,
We felt if we didn't get him off at that next midday tide, we would lose him. The heavy equipment that were there would be there to bury him, not to save him.
it had been more than 18 hours since the humpback whale had become stranded on the shores in Queensland, Australia. Rescuers and volunteers were doing all they could to free the 35-ton animal, but time was running out.
We started to dig around the animal with just shovels. We needed bigger equipment. We attempted to build a sand wall which would allow wave action to dig a natural channel out past the animal. It was a race against time.
We need a change out there on the whale. We need a change out there.
It was amazing to see thousands of people there helping that one whale, and to think the fact that only a few years ago we were hunting these animals or hunting these whales in their thousands. It's quite heartening.
It's just extraordinary, and it's wonderful to see Australians rallying to do something for an animal that didn't even ask to be.
One chap, he came up to me and he asked, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, well, more or less jokingly, I said, "Can you dig me a channel through the surf?" And he said, "I'll give it a good go." The next minute he was out there in the surf with his equipment trying to dig this channel through the surf.
This is what these guys actually do for a living. This wasn't a hobby for them. These machines were their livelihood, so if they drowned them, that was their livelihood gone.
We felt if we didn't get him off at that next midday tide, we would lose him. That unfortunately the heavy equipment that were there would be there to bury him, not to save him.
As the tide rose and the animal felt more water around its body, it started to become a little bit more active. It could have fought, it could have done a tremendous amount of damage to the people around it, and it could have jeopardised the whole operation, but it remained calm. I do think the animal knew that we were trying to help it.
It was getting extremely dangerous. The waves were getting really strong. It was very dangerous for our boat as well. It was sitting out behind the breakers, and I can tell you I was glad I wasn't out there because it was rocking and rolling.
There was a window of opportunity that would allow us to free the animal from the beach, but it was only a very small time frame. We realised we were only going to get one chance.
We had to go down and get these loops over the animal's petrol fins. The current was that strong, it was actually pulling the mask off my face underwater. It was a hell of a difficult job.
Putting the loops over the petrol fins is probably like putting a tight pair of jeans on while you're standing in a crowded moving bus. We all joined hands just to stop the slings from being washed away, because our feet were being washed away from underneath us. You're very anxious, you're emotional, you're keyed up. You've got people in the water holding the animal still. You've got another group of people which are holding the sling. If this operation didn't work the first time, the animal was going to die.
Can you hear me? C01? C11?
I remember being down under the water, waiting for the boat to take up the slack on the rope. It seemed like an eternity until the rope actually came tight.
I find it very difficult to put into words what I felt at that time. I found tears in my eyes, and I suppose there was another part of me that was saying, geez, you can't stand and cry here on the beach in front of all these people. But that's what I felt like. I felt like going down on my knees.
When 7,000 people cheer, you have to be moved by it. I looked around, I saw Trevor. He had tears in his eyes. I had tears in my eyes. I turned away. We had a Minister for Environment. He turned around. I was looking straight at him. He's crying. He runs up and hugs me. You feel like running around and hugging 7,000 people. Once he got out there, he just took off. He swam past the boat. He just swam out of the sling and said, "See you later, guys. Thanks very much. I'll see you next year."
Months have passed. All the people who helped out that day are proud of what they worked together to accomplish.
I don't believe that anywhere in the world there was an animal of this size and of this weight and this species which had ever been rescued before. It was a first.
Look at that. Oh, that was good, Splash. That was good.
It was extremely rewarding just to be a part of it.
Come on, Splash. That's a girl, Splash. Good girl. Good.
I don't want to see a whale stranded. I don't want to see any animal in distress. But to have that feeling again of succeeding with a whole group of people is just a wonderful, wonderful feeling. Everybody was a hero that day. It was the job well done. We'd all accomplished what we'd set out to do. We'd saved our humpback whale.
As humans, we're always mucking up this planet. It was a small thing we could do to undo the damage that mankind in general has done. If this attitude can be developed, not just towards whales, but to all animals, we might just reverse a few of these trends towards the destruction of the planet.
On September 2nd, 1991, parents and children were sharing a final afternoon of fun before the end of the summer season at Lakemont Amusement Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Sherry Danella's daughter, Lindsay, had saved one of her favorite rides for last.
We were at the concession stand, and Lindsay asked if she could go on the little roller coaster, and I said, fine.
It was the last day of work for 17-year-old Chris Whitfield at his summer job.
Roll the ride.
Here we go.
time.
Kevin Holland and his father were on their way to meet Kevin's wife and little boy at the carousel.
It's a little bit too high. It was still light. My son probably wasn't ready to leave yet. So we thought we'll put him on one more kid ride, and then we'll do the miniature golf thing and then boogie.
All right, guys, have fun today. Have fun. Oh, it's all right. I'll take her over with that.
One more time, and that's it.
Here you go. You ready? Like flying, all right? Like flying. Never keep your hands in the car. Here we go.
The car stopped right before it would catch hold onto the chain that would take it up. He must have tugged maybe 5, 6, 7 times on the car itself.
I heard a couple, if not 3, screams. And when I heard my baby, I started to pick up the pace a little bit. When I rounded the bend, something was not right. That's when I saw his leg move.
Okay, now we're going to get him down, okay? Okay, son, listen to me now. We're going to try to get you down, okay?
I saw the ground, and it was covered in blood. I knew that he could bleed to death, but I couldn't get him off the car.
Sir, I'm going to need your help. We can get him down, all right?
He was so tense. He was wrapped around it. So I kind of started directing people what to do. I guess I learned that from being an air traffic controller.
You have to let go, okay? What I'm going to press in. When I press and say, okay, you let go. Okay, because I'm going to have you, all right? You ready? Okay. I got you. Now. There you go. Let's bring him back here. I got you now. Okay, I know what it is.
What was left of his leg was next to his hip. I couldn't afford to have him see that, because if he saw that, I figured that he wasn't going to be as calm as he was anymore.
Now look, I want you to look right here, okay? Just look at me for a second, all right? You're going to be okay. Okay. All right. Listen, I need some ice, I need some water, I need blankets, anything. And everybody else, just calm down, okay?
I noticed that there was some blood still coming out rapidly. I learned through health class, clear back in high school, that we have lymph nodes in our body. And if you push on a lymph node, it'll cut off the circulation of the blood to other parts of your body. There's 2 under your armpits, there's 2 in your legs, and I think there's 3 other ones.
Hey, buddy, I'm going to press a little bit, okay?
And I pushed as hard as I could on what was left of his leg.
All right.
I was asking him questions to make sure that he was coherent. We spent a lifetime in about 20 minutes.
Park paramedic Nancy Fulton was the first rescue worker on the scene.
As I scanned on down his leg, the foot is intact, but the area between the foot and the knee, there is nothing.
Be advised, I need you to expedite at this time. We have a 17-year-old.
I had a young kid who basically was bleeding to death.
You ready?
Okay.
I sat next to his shoulders and held his hand. I wouldn't want somebody to turn their back on my child, so I couldn't do it to him.
What do you like to do?
Electronics.
Electronics?
Yeah.
We just talked a little bit more, and I was okay until he asked me, am I going to lose my leg?
A second, you just hold on, okay?
That was kind of tough, because I said, no, you're going to be fine, you're going to be all right. And I had to kind of like lie to him, and that was tough for me to do, because I'm not used to doing that to people.
Tonight, a horrifying scene inside a house leaves 2 small children dead. What could be the cause of this terrible tragedy? Don't miss Dr. G, Medical Examiner, tonight on Discovery Health Channel.
This is much more than a job for me.
Sunday, catch back-to-back episodes of Dr. G, Medical Examiner.
The people I see in the morning didn't know that they were going to die last night.
This top medical examiner has critics hooked. Find out for yourself why Dr. G is considered fascinating and compassionate.
You're the one putting the pieces together.
Dr. G, Medical Examiner. Watch back-to-back episodes Sunday starting at 9, with an all-new episode coming March 11th on Discovery Health Channel.
Rescue 911 continues next on Discovery Health Channel.
Within 10 minutes of the accident, paramedic Dave Cooper and his partner arrived.
This guy was white. He was wet, he was pasty, his blood pressure could have bottomed out at any time. Whether he was going to live or die, I couldn't tell.
It's okay. Let's get another blood pressure here. No, okay, there, squeeze. If it hurts, just squeeze, okay? You can't hurt me. Remember that.
That was our little contact. And I was still holding Chris's hand even after he got onto the board, I believe. And I said, "You're going to have to go now." And he said, "Okay." I said, "I'll see you later."
Everybody take it easy now, okay?
I was walking out. I looked at my wife, and she looked at me, and I said, "That boy's going to lose his leg." That's when it really sunk in, and I kind of gathered myself a little bit, and I said, he could die. I don't think I cried quite so hard in a long, long time, and I put my arm around my dad because I needed help getting out of the park.
He's here. Okay. Easy, guys, easy. Take a turn here. All right.
By the time Chris arrived at Mercy Hospital, his blood pressure was dangerously low. The emergency physician Pradip Swain took charge of his care.
We immediately poured blood into his system, and all of a sudden I found that the blood dripping on my pants. It is coming through the mass trousers. So immediately I said, "Get me hemostat, I have to clamp that artery." And all of a sudden, he just bottomed out.
Chris, can you feel I'm touching you?
I think he's going to die. My God, he has got 60 years of life in front of him.
Chris's parents, Kurt and Bonnie Whitfield, had been at a family birthday party when they received a call from the hospital.
They knew whatever the activity was going on was serious. I saw his one sneaker on the floor. He was covered up. And he just said it had a bad injury to his leg.
The helicopter came in. He's going to the trauma center in Johnstown. The parents are here. Probably they'll never see him again. I said, take only 1 second. Hold the hand, give him a hug, give him a kiss.
I'm not real religious, but I believe in God. I ask him, he's 17. Give him a chance. If you give him his leg back, he can have my life.
Chris was transported to the trauma unit of Kanima Valley Memorial Hospital, 40 miles away. But there was nothing doctors there could do to save his leg.
I had a tough time. I know whenever he was born, when all the kids were born, any mother counts the baby's toes, counts the baby's fingers. But I would rather deal with whatever we have to deal with, with his leg being amputated, than to have been making funeral arrangements.
I wanted to see Chris really bad, but it took 2.5 to 3 days to find out what had happened. It was kind of a mix of emotions a little bit. I wasn't sure if I really belonged. I wasn't family, but I wanted to know things. Now there's nobody else in the hallway but me and Chris. So I walked over to him. I looked at him. I said, "You don't remember me, do you?" And he started to cry. He looked at me and he said, "You saved my life, didn't you?" And it was kind of like that was the recognition thing. And he squeezed my hand. And I said, "No, I was just there."
Nice and slow. That's it.
The doctors and the paramedics did a great job, but I wouldn't have made it that far if it wasn't for Kevin.
I think if you're doing like 20 here, you could increase the weight a little.
8 months later, Chris is adjusting to the use of an artificial limb.
I had met a guy who has a prosthesis. He had told me to wear a prosthesis is no different than wearing a pair of glasses. I'd still do the things I used to.
An investigation conducted by state and federal agencies determined the Lakemont Park kiddie coaster to be safe.
I'll get up and dance at my prom. I've danced with my girlfriend before, since my accident. Looks funny, but she doesn't feel different towards me. I'm still me.
Pick it. Ready?
If this was the only way to be his friend, I'd rather not know him. But it allowed us the opportunity to become friends. And what we went through is what has bonded us.
No one knows at what moment you step onto somebody's life like this. To see a mangled foot and to put pressure on that, that takes a hell of a courage to do that. They are the greatest heroes than sending someone to space, you know.
On the morning of August 29th, 1991, in Huntington Beach, California, Denise Devine had to run out to attend a business meeting, but she felt secure leaving her 12-year-old daughter, Janelle, to look after her young son for a couple of hours.
Two-year-olds kind of have a tendency to want to be somewhere where there's danger, but Janelle has always been older for her age. She's real good about watching Tyson and helping me out.
Tyson, you go down there and pick that up.
Just a week before, I had asked my husband, when was the last time you changed that battery in the smoke detector?
At 10:22, a call for help came in to Huntington Beach Fire Dispatcher Marianne Marcello.
Fire emergency.
I have a fire in my house.
Okay, and what is burning?
I don't know. My brother was downstairs and then he came back upstairs and I was changing and now there's just this big stick of black smoke.
Okay, coming out of your house. Is there anyone else?
I'm upstairs in the bedroom and I can't go downstairs. There's too much smoke and it's coming.
Okay, you're upstairs right now in the bedroom and you can't get out?
No, there's too much smoke. I can't even breathe.
Okay.
I was very frightened. I've been dispatching for a long time and I knew people perish in fires like this.
Rescue units were immediately dispatched to the scene, including paramedic Dave McBride.
They were believed to be upstairs, and smoke tends to rise. People can die in a matter of minutes from smoke inhalation. Time was running out for the children.
Okay, the door of the bedroom, is it shut?
Yes.
Can you get, is the phone, you're in there with the door shut and the phone?
Yeah, it's just me and my little brother.
Okay, and you're both upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your name?
No. Oh, God.
She was starting to panic because she could hear the fire.
Lisa!
Okay, ma'am?
I didn't know if it was coming up the stairwell or if she could hear it underneath her.
Ma'am, stay on the phone with me. What's going on?
I don't know. It's so thick and I... Oh.
Okay, don't open that door. Do not open that door.
No, I'm pushing the screen.
What screen were you trying to break?
The window on my bedroom.
Okay.
I can't breathe.
Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to get down to the floor.
Okay.
Okay, I want you and the other person in the room to get down close to the floor and stay on the phone with me. What is your name?
Janelle.
It was stressful. You're at the other end of that phone line and they're putting all their trust in you. And the best I can do is to let them know that they're not alone.
Where are they?
Okay, they are on the way. You just stay with me.
I'm trying, but it's so
Right,
hard.
you stay with me. I understand you're scared. You stay with me.
Where?
Okay, Janelle, you just stay down close to the floor right now. They're almost there.
Hurry up.
They're pulling up out in front. How is your brother?
Really quiet.
And they were beginning to become overcome by smoke.
Help!
I can remember telling my partner that they had to get in there. They had to get in the building. But I was afraid that maybe it wouldn't be soon enough.
The crew threw a ladder to the upstairs window. Simultaneously, I was going to do a rescue attempt up the staircase. The fire was rolling from the kitchen into the living room. Visibility was almost zero. When I got to the top of the stairs, I could hear screams.
I heard someone was in the room with them. And then battalion chief came across the radio and said that they had rescued 2 victims from the fire. And I was very happy and relieved.
The children could have died in this fire, but Janelle did everything right.
Watch your head. There you go, Gary.
All in all, they suffered nothing more than a good scare.
It's been almost a year since the incident, but 13-year-old Janelle will never forget the day she and her little brother Tyson nearly lost their lives.
Everything was hot and sticky and it started burning my lungs. I kept thinking, how are we going to get out of this? Then I remember just a vision of seeing this fireman come into the door, and I'm like thinking, this is my hero.
You look at them and you go, boy, I'm grateful that they're still here. I could have lost these kids. I think everyone should know how important the smoke detectors are. Certainly that morning, we needed it.
I think I knew what to do because when I was little, I remember the firefighters coming into school and telling us all about fire safety, and my junior lifeguard training taught me not to panic in these kind of situations.
She definitely had an edge. She had grabbed her little brother and pulled him in the room. She had placed towels on the door jamb. She was very calm, and she called 911. She's growing up, but to me, a 12-year-old and a 2-year-old, they're still little children, and it was just really great to see her do what she did.
There isn't a day that goes by that I don't say, thank you in my prayers. She just came through for us as a family.
Sometimes even the most familiar places can hide some frightening surprises, as one daring youngster discovered on the afternoon of May 3rd, 1992, at his home in Columbia, South Carolina.
As a mother, I've always been concerned about standard accidents like running with a sharp object or leaping off a swing and breaking an arm. But I think you really have to have a good imagination to keep up with what's really going to happen, because you can't predict it.
1, 2.
As she had many times before, Renee Neither was babysitting her 7-year-old nephew John and his 2 younger sisters.
5, 36, 37.
We were just playing around, playing hide and seek, and Renee was counting.
44. 58, 59, 60, 61, 62.
I'm hiding here.
80, 81, 82, 83.
I decided I could just hide in that little cabinet where all the laundry goes.
94, 95, 96.
Oh, what's happening? John says, Renee, I need help. Come quick.
Renee, help!
Oh, my goodness, John Henry, what's the matter? John Henry? He said to try to pull him out, and I kept trying to pull him out, and it seemed like when I was doing it, he was getting further down. My goodness, John.
She said, "Oh, John." And then she realized she had a problem.
So Renee placed an urgent call to John's grandmother, Irene Knifer, who lived just a few blocks away.
Well, I thought I was going to come over him between Renee and me. We were going to get him out.
John? Well, I'm going to try, darling. How'd you do it? John Henry Knifer, how in the world did you get down here? I don't know. Renee, how about getting those...
Renee and Katie went and got me a saw and a hammer and a screwdriver.
I'm going to saw a little bit, okay?
When I attempted to saw, the vibration of it hurt him.
Oh, does that hurt your head, darling?
Yes.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
I'm sorry, darling. Well, what in the world am I going to do, John?
He said, "Oh, Meemaw, just call 911.
Bless your heart. Why didn't I think of that?
Central, what's your emergency?
I got a beauty, darling.
What's wrong, man?
My grandson, they just called me to come over here. They went hide and seek, and he got in the laundry chute, and he's caught in it.
We on the way.
Thank you, dear.
Attention, Engine 9 Rescue 1, Battalion 1.
He said, "Meemaw, do you think I'm going to die?" And I said, "Of course you're not going to die, and you didn't have any business getting in here anyhow." And he said, "Meemaw, that's the third time you've told me that already."
When the Columbia Fire Department arrived, John had been stuck in the laundry chute for nearly an hour.
I bet you won't ever do this again, will you?
What we got here? Let's get down so
You got to get this boy out of here.
Removing a child from a 6 by 12-inch laundry chute was not something that Captain Rusty Smith's men had trained for at the academy.
Chief Boney and Fireman Jones was in the process of talking to him. He was very upset. He was scared that he was slipping.
Kind of got him wedged in here.
And it was just unreal how he got in that situation like that and how he could get up in that little hole and not get back out.
While firemen sized up the situation, additional help arrived.
We're going to try to hold your feet, okay? You're going to be all right, Johnny. You hurt?
I was saying to myself, I'm going to be stuck here forever.
EMS is on his way.
I said I didn't want to die younger than Elvis.
Richland County EMT Grant Freeman and paramedic Britt Ogden tried to comfort the boy.
Hey, little man.
Hey.
How you doing?
Not so good.
Are you hurting anywhere?
He was calm, but in the same sense, he was scared. Basically, our main concern was his airway and respirations.
John, my name's Spike. Just a little bit of cold air, okay? It's oxygen.
They did a marvelous job of pacifying John by talking to him.
Here's some gel.
The defibrillation gel. That's a real slick substance, and we just tried to get him very slick. Asked him to exhale one time, hoping that maybe that would decrease his body size, upper body size, enough that we could slide him on out.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Ow! Ow!
Okay, you got him up there? You got to keep your feet still for me, Don.
He was stuck. He was not going down. He was not going up.
There you go. Pull it on out.
Hold on to your hands a little bit, okay?
All right, you got to hold your feet still for me, Don. Hold your feet still. Okay, come on, pull out. There you go, easy now.
He would cry every now and then. Mainly what scared him a lot is when he heard us start tearing out stuff. It kind of upset him.
We're going to go downstairs and grab him as soon as they pull him out.
All right, got him.
Okay, John, buddy. You're doing good.
It took a good while to get him out.
Let's go ahead and let's try to take him.
With a small child and that potential for injury, you had to take a lot of time and be real careful.
I got it. What's your feet? John, they got you, honey.
Okay, here he comes.
After 2 hours in the laundry chute, John was finally free.
His color wasn't the best in the world. I think he was scared more than anything else.
That's just fine. Bring him down. Didn't want to take any chances, even though he said he wasn't hurting anywhere.
I said all I thought I needed was Tylenol and go to bed.
he was kind of afraid that he was going to get in trouble. And I assured him, that your parents are going to just be glad to see that you're okay, that you're not hurt.
Then they rode me off in this noisy ambulance, going like, brah, brah, brah. Real noisy.
John escaped with just a few scratches, but damages to the house totaled more than $1,200. Within 2 weeks, the only remaining after effect for John was the lesson he'd learned.
Don't go in small places with walls around it, where you'll get stuck.
He'll play hide and go seek again, but I don't think he'll hide in the laundry chute anymore.
I want to thank all the firemen, and there's one named Spike that I want to thank, and I want to thank all the rest, and I want to thank the EPS men. EEMS.
John Henry, he's the pick of the litter. I told his father that, and John overheard me say it. And once when my son Francis was reprimanding John, he said, "Be careful what you say about me, Daddy, because Meemaw said I was the pick of the litter." But they all are. They're darlings.
Come in.